I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? It's a great day, and I'm so very excited to have my next guest on. I did not ever rehearse that. That is just something that actually naturally comes out of my mouth every single time I hit record. Go figure.
That's
It is
amazing.
because, I know, right? It's become one of those things that's just like automatic. I want to welcome Holly Daniels Christensen on the show today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Oh, anytime, girlfriend. So, I like to go back and I like people to explain to my guests who they are because I could do that and I can go down the whole bio thing, but I don't know if that explains who you are as a person. And I think in this show, we love to get to know who you are.
I completely understand that. Everyone's got a different story that's unique and exciting to tell. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a multifaceted entrepreneur. I have a few different businesses, but my main business is a company called Dune Jewelry, like a sand dune, that I started at my kitchen table 13 years ago, which is actually insane to think that it's been that long. Uh, we craft all of our jewelry, personalized, customized using sand and earth elements from places that are special to you. So it could be somewhere you wish to travel someday that you're manifesting. It could be somewhere that you got married, or maybe you sprinkled a loved one's ashes on a beach somewhere or on a mountain somewhere. It doesn't have to be beach sand. It can be any sort of earth elements. And, you know, the goal is really to give people a tangible reminder of their precious moments, because everything's stuck in our phone now, right? Like all of our photos and all of our memories, which is great because it's at our fingertips, but it's not tangible. So that's my goal.
Wow. My daughter still gets those disposable Polaroid cameras that you have to have
I love
developed.
them.
I love
Yep,
those things
they're
because
so
it's nothing like,
fantastic.
yeah, it's nothing like having something tangible in your hand. Here it is. I got
Yeah,
it. Forget
agree.
the phone because that's digital. It's like, okay, if I lose it, if I delete it, it's gone.
I agree.
You know,
I'm with
but
you.
having that photo book is just something about it. And I think jewelry is just beautiful, like having that ring or that necklace or anything. So, what gave you the idea to do this in the first place?
Well, I left home when I was 15 years old. I had a really tumultuous upbringing. I was an only child. It wasn't working for me. I knew if I stayed in that household, I was never going to be able to excel or live kind of a happy life. And so I left home. I dropped out of high school and I worked for every kind of person under the sun. I have done 50 different jobs in my lifetime, including the regular bartending, waitressing. I worked in a pharmacy. I worked at Papa Gino's, Dunkin' Donuts. I have done it all. And I finally settled into a career in real estate, which I loved because if you know a little bit about real estate, you know it's kind of like having your own business. You're really, although you're working for a brokerage, oftentimes you're drumming up your own business and networking and meeting people and learning the art of selling. And I loved that career, but I always had a creative side to me that never was fully realized. And so I was helping my childhood best friend make these little snowflake ornaments. I'm sorry, sell these little snowflake ornaments that she was making out of beach sand from Cape Cod, where we grew up. She loved the making of everything, but did not like the selling. And I liked all of it. So I would go to arts and crafts shows and see people's reaction when they knew they could have this little ornament to have on their tree or in their window all year round, made out of something from their happy place. And we decided to take jewelry making classes because we were thinking what ornaments are great and they're beautiful, but what's like another level? What's next level? And so we started taking jewelry classes, and then it completely took off from there. I just fell in love with the art of it, and she did as well. But she decided to stay home, raise her boys because she had young children at the time, and I decided to launch Dune Jewelry. And now people have sent us over 5,000 sands and earth elements from all over the world. So, like, in the beginning, it would just be little trinkets made with sand from Cape Cod. But every time I would see someone, they'd say, "Oh, I just brought back sand from Bermuda," or "I had these pebbles from the Rocky Mountains, and it was such an amazing hike, and I'm never going to forget it, and I'd love to commemorate it." And I would always say, "Yeah, why not? Let's give it a shot." So started at my kitchen table, selling, gifting to friends and family, then selling at arts and craft shows. And then I, by luck, ran into a wholesale representative, Paula Mullen. I remember distinctly meeting her. And she was like, "I know so many boutiques and jewelry stores that would love to carry this." And that was the next step for us.
Wow. Wow. So do you hand make these pieces yourself or have someone in store hand make these?
I was solo at my kitchen table, hand making every piece, packaging every piece, writing letters to all the customers, like doing everything at my kitchen table while simultaneously working in real estate to fund the business because I didn't want to take investment money from anyone. I didn't really have anyone to take investment money from at that point, anyway. But I didn't want to owe anyone anything in case it didn't turn out the way I envisioned it, which luckily it has.
Right.
So yeah, fast forward, I have 25 full-time employees, multiple sales representative representation all over the world, um, a brick and mortar boutique in Ketchikan, Alaska, a flagship store that my childhood best friend actually owns and we supply. So it all came full circle with the boutique in Cape Cod. So we have a boutique in Cape Cod, a boutique in Ketchikan, Alaska, which is a cruise port. And now we have a little gift boutique that carries more than Dune in Norwood, Massachusetts.
My goodness. What is it like to see the little thing that you started at your kitchen table because you decided to take a class turn into
Yeah.
this? What
Yeah.
does this look like for you?
And it's great. But it's a challenge. I mean, every single day is a learning curve. Every single day is work. You know, a lot of people are like, what advice would you give someone wanting to start a business? And quite honestly, there's so many fluffy answers you can give that are like, oh, be passionate or be this or be that. For real though, you need to be willing to work at least the first 5 years, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I'm not joking. Like, it's not like, no, you don't. You do because your brain is always there, it's always on. So, no matter how good you are at meditating, no matter how good you are at self care and balance and this and that, it's not realistic in the beginning of a business, in my opinion. That is just my
You're
opinion.
right. I'm gonna say you're right. My
Thank
husband
you.
looks at me and he thinks I'm absolutely crazy. You're doing too much. Oh my gosh. It's like, you put your foot here, you put your foot there, but it's not really putting my foot here or there. It's the same principle. It's the same business, but a different arm or a
Yeah.
leg or a branch of it that I'm working on. And you have to branch out. There's just different things. What was one of the toughest moments that you had developing and moving forward in this business that you'll never forget?
There's a lot, quite honestly. I think if I'm speaking internally, I had very bad imposter syndrome because I was a high school dropout. So I felt very insecure about my formal education. Everything I learned was practical. It was tactical. It was, I learned by doing. Tactical is not the right word. But it was all practical learning on the job, learning from leaders I loved, learning from leaders I very much disliked, knowing what kind of leader I wanted to be. So I think my insecurities were definitely very hard for the first probably 5, 6 years, long time. And then there's always finding the right people to surround yourself with. I'm blessed. Majority of my team has been with me for 6+ years. I have people that have been with me 10+ years, almost from the beginning, which is just, that's absolute key. I think I had a stumbling point when I realized I needed a mentor. And luckily, there's a free mentor program here in Massachusetts called SCORE, funded by the Small Business Administration. Huge. I think learning to really listen to your customers and what they want if you want to grow the business is very important. So many entrepreneurs think that they know the right way and they have this preconceived notion of how everything's going to go. Flexibility is huge, right? you it I hate to say roll with the punches because that sounds lackadaisical or lazy, and that's not what I mean, but there's going to be punches and you need to just get up and keep going and persevering through that. So and lastly, I think sourcing the right product, the right quality is can be really tough in this day and age, especially when there's so many people in manufacturing, whether it's stateside, in the US or overseas. And quite on, sometimes you get better service, better quality overseas if you're looking in the right place. Which I know. I mean, when I first started, I was like, we are 100% USA made. And we're 60%, right? Because we have a working studio here in Massachusetts, but we do get some componentry from other parts of the world. Um, and so I guess being as prepared as humanly possible, but knowing that it's never going to go exactly as you plan.
Oh my gosh, I love that answer. I absolutely love that because I mean, you got to be ready.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
ready as you could possibly be. I mean, you don't know what's coming, but you know something is.
Always.
Something's coming. Something's
Always.
coming.
I mean, who would have thought COVID? I mean, that no one could
Oh,
have
but
ever.
COVID was a reset for a lot of people. What was it for you?
Um, that's a really good question. What was COVID for me? I think it was unfortunately, it was a very fear-based time for me because I had people to keep healthy, team members to keep healthy, but also a business to continue running. I mean that we had such momentum at that time. We've experienced organic growth year over year over year, every year, and 2020 was due to be our best year in history. We had so many collaborations happening, so many projects happening, new products, new stores, new partners, and it all went away.
I
And
know.
so, yeah, it just
I
was
know.
like no more. So we brought it down to a skeleton crew. A lot of people started working from home. I started connecting with our customers. My brand manager, Lauren, and I started doing something called kitchen table talks, where we took it back to the kitchen table where the business started. And we would talk about our customers and make jewelry and really connect that way. So that was a huge blessing in disguise. But yeah, it's I don't have one huge uh, big revelation from COVID. I still consider it business wise to have been one of the most difficult things I've ever been through.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, we made it.
Yeah, we
We're
made it.
here.
We're here, but there's a lot of people that didn't make it, and unfortunately and unfortunately for your business, this might be a good thing. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like a mixed feeling. It's like, okay, I'm here to provide some solace, but at the same time, I'm so sorry, that that's
Yeah.
happened to you. So yeah, it's mixed feelings, I'm sure. No, okay, so tell me about your business and about your products and all that stuff and how people can reach you.
Every single one of our designs are handmade, made to order, using your choice of sand or earth elements. So when I mention earth elements, I mean flower petals from a wedding or a funeral, crushed granite from the Rocky Mountains. People have sent in some crazy stuff to have made. You don't have to send it in. We have a Sandbank that has sand and earth elements from 5,000 places, from Dubai to Positano, Italy to Venice Beach, California, and like everywhere in between and around the world. So you can choose from there. But if we don't have what you're looking for, you can send in your own sand or earth elements. Ashes, people have sent ashes, which I know. At first I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. But then it's someone's experience that we're able to capture in a tangible reminder in this jewelry. So Now I say yes to everything. People have sent in baby onesies, so cute. Um, stand from honeymoons, stand from destination weddings, all sorts of wonderful stuff. We have really, really great customers. And yeah, we're Dune Jewelry everywhere. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. It's Dune Jewelry, Dune, like a sand dune.
Awesome. It's been a minute since we've been trying to get in contact with you, woman. You're so busy.
I, and you know what? Everyone's busy, and I apologize. You know what it was? I took on an interim role as a COO of 7 jewelry stores in the Caribbean and Alaska.
Oh my
I
gosh.
I needed to do it as a learning experience, and it's been a huge success and such a learning experience. But that's why I have to make an excuse for myself here. I bit off a little more than I can chew,
Oh yeah.
and
Seven.
I apologize. I apologize if
It's
I
okay. It's
was
okay. But
difficult.
okay, so as someone who didn't finish school, being as successful as you are, there are people out there that didn't finish school. What kind of advice do you give them?
Well, I think that it's learning comes in all different forms, right? I mean, you can read, you can watch videos now, right? Go on YouTube, you can learn anything, but really it comes with experience and passion. And quite honestly, the people that I've come across in my lifetime professionally don't even ask me about my education at this point, because I'm probably to a level in my career where nobody is questioning that. But if you're just starting out, I think believe in yourself. I know people probably say that all the time, but it's true. If you truly believe in yourself and you truly want to pursue what you're pursuing, nothing's going to stop you. There's so many people that have dropped out of school. And quite honestly, I think I've said that too many times during this pod. Uh, a lot of people that you would never imagine have not finished school. And there are still a lot of people out there that don't want to talk about it. They still feel maybe a little bit embarrassed or ashamed, or it's just something that they don't want to bring up into the conversation. But you would be really surprised at how many people do not have a formal education and are wildly successful.
Definitely, definitely. I want to thank you so much for being on the show. You know, you're one of many examples of people who have just gone after it. Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah,
And it's just amazing. So Dune Jury, right?
that's it.
Awesome. We're gonna have
Easy
that link in
peasy.
the description box for you guys so that you can get your Dune Jury. If you have any things you want to commemorate or remember, or ashes, or little pebbles of rocks, or a onesie. I mean, hey, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever you have, if you want to commemorate and you want it to be tangible, just like this pen is in my hand, then you need to go
Yeah.
ahead and contact Dune Jury today. I want to thank you guys again so much. Thank you, Holly, for finally getting on the show, girl.
Thank you for having me. This was amazing. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to dare to be different. Until next time, guys. Bye.